Hi everyone, I'm here today with our PeakLife Women Inspire, a fitness and health enthusiast, Seema Jindal. She is the founder of Nourish Organics, a one-stop platform for healthy, ready-to-eat, wholesome superfoods. With a passion for wellness and an acute business acumen, she's one of the most influential personalities in the health space today. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here with us today. It's an honor to be talking with you.
I'm very excited to be talking to Peak Life, and I've been very fortunate to know Parinita for many years now, and I'm very excited and very, excited about her new venture.
I'll dive right into it. Starting off, please tell us how did your journey with wellness and health begin in the first place?
So many years back, almost 15 years back, I had two of my aunts, my nani and my mausi. They both had cancer, and at different times, of course. And each time I was looking after their nutrition needs. And I was talking to the nutritionists, I was consulting, I was research what should be given to them to give them maximum protein, or what can be clean foods to give them. The doctor told me to give them organic food. So I researched what was organic in India, and I found Navdanya, which is Vanna Shiva's very old, one of the first organic food companies. But it was a very farmer level business. It was not something that was available in the stores. And I wanted to eat easy, ready to eat products. And I was also a new mother, and I had put on a lot of weight. I wanted to lose weight, but in a healthy way, because I love playing tennis. I like being active. I'm a avid trekker. So if I went on a crash diet, I had no energy to do things, you know? So I said, what's the point of being very skinny or thin without having any strength?
Right.
So I knew that I had to find a way where I could be healthy, yet be fit and trim. I mean, I want to also look nice, but looking nice and being healthy is should be complementary to each other.
Right.
So I'm not one of those very skinny kind of people. I believe that strength is important, and strength comes from eating the right things. And of course, there is one has to exercise a lot. One has to do the right kind of exercise, maybe not a lot, but the right kind of fitness routine one has to have. So I'm pretty disciplined, and I just got onto this food journey. And once you get into researching something, then it's an endless subject. And it led me to create some products. Then my friends started asking me for them. And I started making more and more. And now we have almost 32 SKUs, and we are available pan India.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So just to trace back to, when you first started and coming back to how things are today, how do you observe the organic market in India? Like, do you observe a lot of changes and differences?
Firstly, there is a huge growth. Earlier, when I did start researching, when I did start contacting all the people who were doing organic,
Mm.
there were very few being sold in India. Most of the organic food which was produced in India was being exported.
Mm.
And even now, a large amount of organics produced from India is exported. So it's very important, because unfortunately in India, people don't want to pay the price for organic. But the world is ready to, a lot of other countries are willing to pay that price for organic produce, because they understand the value of eating clean, of eating produce which is produced without any kind of fertilizers or pesticides. So it's very important that the awareness has increased. There is much more, many more. I remember about 8-10 years ago, I had the first farmers market. You
Right.
know, we organized the first farmers market with the altitude store, and now there are some really good farmers markets.
Mm.
So people are bringing fresh organic produce, and then you can buy it directly from the farmers.
Right.
So there's a lot more awareness now.
That's great. And what are some challenges that you had to face throughout your journey?
I think the challenges was the price of my products. They were
Mm,
always more expensive. There was always a Kellogg's, like for breakfast, which was selling cereals, which
mm,
was so much cheaper. But to differentiate between what I was selling and what Kellogg's was selling, to let masses know about that, to let people know about that was very challenging. It was very difficult for me to make people understand that why a whole grain is much better for you than a refined grain.
mm,
So it took some time, and now, again, as we see that awareness is much more because of Instagram, and because the world has opened up. It's not that,
right.
Indians are not in a silo anymore,
Mm,
and people are realizing the value of nuts and seeds. We are basically a company which promotes eating healthy fats and healthy fibers. So it's about eating whole foods
mm,
rather than broken down foods. Yeah.
yes. Yes. Mm. So, on that same note, when it comes to challenges, do you think that as compared to your male counterparts, maybe your journey has been full of more challenges? Like, has there ever been a gender bias that you've ever observed?
At my level where I sit, I
Mm,
don't think there's any gender bias. Uh, you know, or maybe I could say that because a lot of people thought that she's just a housewife,
right.
and she's not serious about her work.
Mm,
Maybe that could have been a bit, in the initial phase. But otherwise, I think hard work is thing which has to be done by male or female. So I personally don't like women. I do not. I do not let women believe that they are being, you know, uh, they are being undermined. So
mm,
if you have strength and if you have the courage, we must push through
mm,
whatever challenges. And that even a male has to do. Sometimes a man so much more burden on his shoulder because everybody expects him to earn.
mm.
So a woman has a different kind of burdens. So, but we all have our own share of burdens.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I actually agree, yeah.
Yeah.
And you've been, on this journey for so long, like it's been 15 years. And what's the most important part of your vision even today? Like back when you started out, it was because you wanted to venture into health and you had your reasons. And, after all this time, what is your vision now? Like, what makes you still, what's your drive today?
I think my drive, earlier I thought that I wanted to be available in large metropolitan cities. And, I wanted the cream de la creme, like people with bigger, deeper pockets to be able
Mm,
to buy my product. But somewhere I believe that everybody has, the right to eat good, and
mm,
everybody should be informed about it. And I think if I can take, healthy food, the concept of healthy food to larger masses, to, larger part of India, uh, that'll be that'll be amazing. Yeah.
mm, mm. And what are some milestones or achievements that you're most proud of so far?
I think one of the milestones was that, investors wanted to invest in us, and then they invested in us without me going to anybody, without me asking for any funding, which was, a great validation. And then over time, my daughter has joined my business. That has been a huge milestone. She thinks it's nice to join mom's company.
Hmm.
I never
Right.
thought that I will create something where my daughter will want to come and work with me. So that's been really nice. And every now and then we get mails from, people who are eating our product, and they will say congratulations for creating such wonderful things, or they'll say thank you for creating such a, and I feel so amazing. I feel so blessed that they recognized what hard work has gone behind it, and the thought behind the product. So I really wish that more people see the benefit of eating this, and I hope that the products that we make always give health to people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's nice. And how do you manage to stay on top of your game every day?
I just try. I don't think I'm on top of my game ever, but it is like every morning starts with, let's try and achieve this. So it's one day at a time. And end of the day, I have a strong um faith. I believe in my guru, and I feel that my guru makes me do what I can do, and what's not done also was his plan.
Mm.
So I surrender onto that, and uh, I live in peace with that. That whatever had to come my way, and I had to do it in the best possible way.
Mm.
I'm not lazy, so I think that really helps me. And I think what really helps me is waking up really early.
Mm.
I sleep really early and I wake up really early. So
Mm.
because I seem to have a long day,
Mm.
so I manage to fit in a lot into my day.
Right.
I'm not I'm not rushed because I'm not lost. I mean, to me, to wake up before the birds is really important.
Mm.
So I see the sunrise and I play with my dogs. I have a good exercise routine. I played tennis this morning. I went for my satsang. So I feel very charged. By the time it's like 9:30, 10, I'm ready and with a lot done behind me. So
Exactly.
I feel on top of my game because I feel that
Mm.
I have the whole day now.
Yeah, exactly. You seize the days like you've kind of,
I
yeah, you're
seize the
ready
day,
to.
by waking up early. If I
Exactly.
get up late, then
Mm. I see what you mean. Yeah.
but
So
I
you,
can sleep at whatever time. I will always wake up early.
oh, that's a blessing. I wish I could do that.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, if you just are strict about yourself about it, then
Discipline.
becomes
Yeah.
a routine, and it's a great routine to have.
Mm. True. So you know how there are highs as well, but there are lows too. So how do you deal with the negative emotions that may sometimes come?
You're talking about work, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
don't
work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like as an entrepreneur, like there are highs, there are
Hmm.
successes, but there are failures as well sometimes. Sometimes things don't work out. So how do you deal with those emotions?
One is that, I have my daughter luckily working with me. So we both sit, and if I'm down, then she helps me recover. If she's down, then I help her recover. But I also surround myself with very good friends who are into businesses and doing very interesting things. And every time there is a low moment, I can reach out to them, and then they either advise me on what I should do now. And so I never feel alone. So I always feel that there
Mm.
is help. If I need to, I can reach out to somebody, and they'll help me see the way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And since you're leading a wellness like a health brand, what is your personal wellness philosophy?
My personal wellness philosophy is, again, I eat a lot of nuts and seeds. I'm very low on grain. I don't eat so much grain.
Mm.
I eat a lot of vegetables,
Yeah.
and I there are lots of important points where wellness is concerned. One of them is sleeping in time and getting up in time. Getting yourself 8 hours of sleep,
Mm.
and eating the we have to start understanding our bodies,
Mm.
how we are eating. So once we are um, and then portion control is very important. Every now and then letting yourself go also is very important. So creating a balance is really important. And to me, wellness means creating a balance.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm. So talking about balance, I'll just jump on that. How do you maintain work-life balance then?
So my week is fairly structured,
Hmm.
but every now and then, there's family commitments or my personal commitments, something or the other keeps propping up.
Right.
And I prioritize then,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
what is important to be done right now. I do that. But I've shared this earlier that uh, I'm like a juggler. We are constantly juggling balls,
Hmm.
and every now and then something with or the other will fall also. Falls, you just pick up again and you start juggling again. So
Yeah.
there's never a perfect balance.
Hmm.
It's a myth that there can be a balance, a perfect balance.
Interesting. That's the first time I've heard an answer like that. It's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. And what is your definition of an empowered woman?
I think an empowered woman is somebody who surrounds herself with positive people.
Mm.
She, in her bank, she has money, she has friends, she has supportive family, and like a strong spiritual base.
Mm.
A strong connect, which no matter what, she can stand through it.
Right.
Yeah.
And last question, what would be your piece of advice for all the women entrepreneurs aspiring to be, like who you are today?
I would say that perseverance is very important. Follow your dreams, but always remember that things can take a lot of time.
Mm.
So success should be uh, a goal, but the journey, enjoy the journey, and be through the journey. We forget that we are constantly looking at the goal. It's very important to look at the goal,
Mm.
but the journey is really important. So
Right.
every entrepreneur should never, a lot of people, because in this millennial world, they think that it has to be sold for X amount of crores and it has to be reaching this kind of number and all of
Mm.
that. So all that is fine, but staying grounded is really important. Staying real is very important, and believing in your product is really important.
Mm.
Whatever you are selling.
Right.
Yeah. If you're an entrepreneur, then knowing that, and sometimes it's also knowing when to exit. If
Mm.
something is not okay, then it's, not taking it as a personal failure.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes
Yeah,
it's okay to give up. That takes courage too. Mm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think much more courage.
Mm. I
Most
see.
people, find it hard to give up, but sometimes it's important, and that doesn't make you lesser.
Mm.
Knowing that is very important.
Right. Right. Thank you, ma'am. It was an amazing conversation.
Thank
It
you
was
so
lovely.
much.